Yep, this is me in a field in Utah about to find out who can eat more hot dogs, a competitive eater or a grizzly bear.
You want a napkin? No, okay, you're good.
Competitive eating, a fierce battleground where people from all over the world compete to see how much food it's possible to stuff down your gob.
You show me a chatbot that can eat 59 hot dogs and I'll buy into this AI nonsense.
Now, normally these competitions have been limited solely to man versus man, but I had a thought the other day.
Who do you think wins in a competitive eating competition, a professional or a grizzly bear?
That's a good question.
So, let's find out. But first, I would need to find a bear. Introducing Tank. Tank lives in Utah, in the USA. He's 7 foot tall and 800 pounds.
Oh, he's a good boy.
Tank is an ex-actor, most famous for his starring role opposite Eddie Murphy in Dr. Dolittle 2.
I like the bear I am. I'm famous.
But these days, he spends most of his time swimming, playing,
I've never seen a bear 69 someone before.
and roaming around the thousands of acres around his ranch.
Hey, Tank. He's a happy bear.
Tank was rescued from a zoo as a cub and has been lovingly reared in the Utah wilderness. And he was more than happy to take part in my eating competition, as hot dogs are his favourite food.
He can eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
Has he ever competed in an eating competition?
Nope.
Do you think he would do quite well in an eating competition?
I think he might do all right. You get her planned out and we'll do it.
With Tank and his dad on board with this hot dog eating plan, I would need to find a competitor to go up against him. Now, there is one man who is the obvious challenger to Tank, Joey Chestnut. The undisputed GOAT of professional eating. The man can get through 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
I got leftover room, so I'll be having some beers later.
Unfortunately, he didn't get back to me when I reached out and seemingly only does videos with Mr. Beast. So to look for this challenger, I went to a Nathan's hot dog eating event to meet the best in the world.
How you doing? What's the belt about?
3-time Nathan's Chug champion.
This is the hardest chug known to man, okay?
And it was clear that they take competitive eating very seriously.
They say that competitive eating is the battleground upon which God and Lucifer wage war for men's souls.
This is quite serious.
I watched as the men and women of New York took on some glizzies, whilst I played along.
3, 2, 1, go!
And let me tell you, eating lots of hot dogs is no joke.
I'm on 5, I've got half of one.
And my posh little tum-tum could barely keep up.
It's so dry. Can you open this for me? Thanks.
With me full of sausages and a winner crowd, I thought I should ask around as to who would be the best person to be Tank's competitor. And there was one name that kept on coming up.
Nick is in the running.
Who's Nick?
Oh, Nick Weary?
Nick Weary.
You should definitely have Nick Weary.
Nick Larry would be a guy, I guess. Yeah.
Really? I've heard this name floating around a few times.
He's no joke. He's the real deal.
Not here today, but
He's not here today. The name that kept on coming up on my fact-finding mission was the one and only Nick Weary.
He's the number 4 competitive eater in the world.
Alongside his wife Mickey, who's the best female competitive eater in the world, he can put down a glizzy like nobody else. And he's also a lovely man. So I reached out and he agreed to be my champion in the Battle of the Species.
Slammed in Salt Lake City.
I nipped to the airport to meet Nick,
Nick? How you doing, man?
and we jumped in the car. These were two men who were about to be sat next to a grizzly bear, but it all was good vibes.
Once I'm on stage in front of everybody,
Then it's like,
it's kind of like you just
it's go time.
Yeah, you just put me in the cubicle. It's time to go to work.
We drove an hour or so from the airport to Tank's house, where we were greeted by Tank's mum Lynn, who's been looking after Tank since 1996. We were shown down to the arena, given a very quick safety briefing, which was vital before Tank turned up, and there was one final thing to do, and that was to get properly hydrated. And what better way to do that than from Tank's stream, with Air Up. Air Up is the newest and best way to keep yourself hydrated.
You see, in the top of my Air Up bottle is a scent taste pod with a variety of different flavours that I can choose from.
With natural fruit flavours like lime, raspberry lemon and wild berry, to some more playful recent additions.
Air Up works using the science of retronasal taste. What this really is water, but my brain is telling me that it's actually wild berry. You can fill up your Air Up bottle from any water source, so I'm here in this lovely river in Utah, so why not? If this is where Tank drinks from, well, it's good enough for me. Drinking lots of water keeps me hydrated, and that improves my physical and mental performance. So hopefully I can chow down on some glizzies in a ferocious way. Use the code FOSH10 for 10% off all your orders and maybe 10% off any grizzly bear hires. No, that is not part of it, it's just for this. And thank AirUp for sponsoring this vid.
Go to airup.link/Fosh to grab your AirUp bottle now and to support the channel. So, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's hot dog eating time. Here are the rules. Each competitor has 75 hot dog sausages in front of them. We wanted to use buns, but Tank is gluten-free. I would be sat there as a control to see what the average person could eat, and I was hoping to beat my 3.5 from New York. The winner is simply the first to finish their plate. Between Tank and us was a very thin electric wire, which I found out afterwards wasn't even turned on. So hopefully, if Tank did finish his plate, he wouldn't be looking at us as his 76th hot dog.
Are you ready?
I guess so, yeah.
With everyone in place, Tank arrived to the party.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on?
3, 2, 1, eat.
Oh.
Tank got off to a slowish start as he explored the table somewhat. This allowed Nick to get into a commanding lead as he was shoving down glizzies at an alarming rate. I, however, had my knife and fork and was mainly concerned with not ruining my dinner jacket.
Do you want a napkin? No, okay, you're good.
Nick was definitely pulling away, but this is when Tank turned it on and really got stuck in. I'd been told by Tank's dad that he loved words of affirmation, so I was less focusing on my sausages and more focusing on trying to get Tank not to eat me.
Well done, Tanky, you're doing great.
Tank was really getting into it and was also looking over at Nick to see how he was doing. With front row access, I was in awe seeing these two beasts going head to head, and it was pretty close. These two were locked in and were fully focused on the biggest event of their lives. And so was I, because I was thinking about my new Comedy World Tour loophole, where I show you the biggest loophole I've ever found. So big I actually can't make a video about it. You'll understand what I mean when you come to the show. I'm going all over the world, so grab your tickets at maxfosh.co. In the meantime, Tank was getting to the end of his plate, and Nick was struggling to keep up.
Yummy, yummy. You have ripped the tablecloth, it slightly worries me.
And 3 minutes 4 seconds after we'd started, Tank was all done. Tank had done it. Nick so close with only 7 hot dogs behind. But the game's the game. And like the classy guy he is, instead of sticking around to gloat, Tank went back home, ready to take on the next challenger.
Nick, how do you feel?
I think I need to change my undies. Yeah. I've never had somebody tear up the tablecloth next to me while I was eating. But no, that was a terrifying, amazing, one-of-a-kind experience.
There you go.
If you're having a hot dog eating competition between a human and a bear, the bear normally wins.